What do you do when people don't like you? First of all, I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is not a green screen. This is outside. What do you do when people don't like you? What do you do? I think there's two ways to answer this question. And the first way is nothing. Who cares? And not who cares, but nothing. Don't do anything about it. And the second way is how do you know they don't like you? How do you really know that? And let's address both of these situations. One where they may really not like you. What do you do about that? If it's genuinely 100% fact they don't like you, they've told you they don't like you. What do you do about that? And then number two, well, how do you know they don't like you, really, if they haven't just flat out told you? How do you handle both of those? First of all, let's deal with you think somebody doesn't like you. How do you handle that? Because it can make you feel terrible. You know, you feel like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Why don't people like me? I'm a nice person. If I can just make them laugh, I know they'll like me. Or if I can just be around them, if they could see me, I know they would like me. And then you think they don't like you. So then you get stressed out. You get depressed. You get anxiety. You start feeling bad about yourself. When you have negative thoughts, your body will produce chemicals in response to that. Bad thoughts, bad chemicals. Good thoughts, positive chemicals. Dopamine and oxytocin and serotonin all have roles in our mood. Oxytocin is the love hormone. It's when you give somebody a hug and you feel like close to them and you trust them and they hug you back, your body produces oxytocin. That's a great feeling. And that positive thought produces a good feeling. Negative thoughts produce negative feelings. You think negative thoughts, you get stressed, your body produces cortisol. Cortisol damages your ability to think and remember. And as a memory expert, memory's pretty important to me, and so is my brain. So what do you do before you go down this rabbit hole of thinking negative thoughts? You think somebody doesn't like you. Well, there's a couple things that are going on here. The first thing is you may be mind reading. If you haven't gone and talked to them, you might be attempting to read their mind. Let me ask you this. Are you a really good mind reader? Have you been good at mind reading in the past? What number am I thinking of right now? I was thinking of 42. If you didn't say 42, you're not a very good mind reader. Don't mind read. Talk to the person. I had a friend who lived in my building, and every time we got on the elevator together, I thought this was a cool guy. But when we first met, he didn't talk to me. He wouldn't even look at me. He was just like, how you doing? How's it going? And I was like, man, this guy, he doesn't like me. I don't know what's wrong. And for 6 months, a year, every time I saw him, I made up stories. He doesn't like me because he thinks that I am interested in his girlfriend, or he doesn't like me because of this. And I made up all these stories on why he didn't like me and why he was wrong for not liking me. Well, for about a year, I had these stories in my brain. And then we were at a party together one day at a friend's place. And he and I happened to be at the same table, so we started talking. And in that conversation, he said, yeah, my son committed suicide about 1.5 or 2 years ago. And it was like, I thought, oh my, 2 years ago. That is exactly the time I met him. And for that entire year, I thought he hated me. But his son had just committed suicide. It wasn't about me. When we got on the elevator and he was in this daze because of his son, I made it about me. I made it about me. Why doesn't he like me? Well, guess what? It had nothing to do with me. And when I got to talk to him later, I didn't even tell him that I thought he didn't like me. Because at that point, my question was answered. We had a great conversation that day at our friend's house, and I've seen him 50 times since then. He's been the friendliest guy. He was going through a really hard time in his life. Don't mind read and try to guess someone's behavior. Talk to them. Number one, don't mind read. Number two, don't just think negative feelings. Don't go with your feelings. Just because you feel something doesn't mean it's true. Don't be always responding to your feelings. Don't fortune tell. Oh, you know what? I'm not even going to go meet that person because I know they're not going to like me anyways. Well, how do you know that? You haven't met them. You're fortune telling. So you got to talk to people. And here's a series of questions that you can really ask yourself, and it's really beneficial. When you have a thought that somebody doesn't like you, or a negative thought, or you're mind reading, or you're fortune telling, or you're catastrophizing, you're just thinking the worst possible outcome to the situation, go through a series of questions and ask yourself, how do I know it's true? How do I really know it's true? Is it possible that it's not true? What are there other things that could explain their behavior around me? Could they be really stressed about work? Could they be really stressed about family? Could they be really stressed about a friendship or a relationship or money? Are there any other things other than me that they could be stressed about? And I think inevitably you're going to come up with the answer yes. Unless you've talked to a person, don't let your mind go down that rabbit hole, because it's just going to produce anxiety and stress and cortisol and depression. Now let's flip that around. You have talked to them and they don't like you. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing. Don't try to convince them why you're such a great person. Don't try to prove your side of the story. Just let it be. Number one, if you let it be, it might blow over, and one day they will like you. But even if they don't, what does that say about you? A lot of times it says nothing about you. Have you ever gone to a movie and you walked into the movie and you thought, this is a great movie? Then you talked to somebody 2 days later who saw the same movie and they said, oh, that was a terrible movie. What does it say about the movie that one person loved it and one person hated it? It says nothing about the movie. It's the perspective of the person. It says nothing about you. Oftentimes, when somebody doesn't like you, it's all based on their perspective, their past, their what's going on in their brain. And it's not right or wrong. You might not fit into the box of what they like. And that's okay. Are there people that rub you the wrong way? They're maybe not terrible people, but just something about them rubs you the wrong way? Sure, there are people that rub me the wrong way. And I'm sure they're actually a decent person. They have flaws, but guess what? I probably have some of those flaws too. And maybe the flaws that I don't like about them are because it reminds me of myself. Who knows? Or somebody says, man, this dessert is great. You want to try this dessert? And you taste the dessert and you're like, oh, that's gross. What does it say about the dessert? Nothing. It is based on that person. Oftentimes, people's opinion of you is nothing related to you. It's based on them. And remember that. Detach yourself from that. Detach yourself from the need to get approval from others. Does it feel good to get a need for approval from others? Of course it does. Does it feel good to be in a herd, a community? Of course it does. So find yourself a herd. You know, you've seen a herd of elephants. They're all together. They're all one. They're on the same mission. Find yourself your herd. Find yourself the people who are like you. Now let me ask you this. Can you not get along with anybody? Is there nobody out there that you get along with? And I'm talking about positive people with things going, positive things in their life, happy people. Can you get along with any of them? If the answer to that is no, then okay, maybe you need to take a step back here and do some self-examination and say, okay, is there anything in me that I can change here? However, if you have a good amount of people that enjoy being around you and they're good, positive people, then if there's one or two, or occasionally there's people that you rub the wrong way, just let it go. Now, if you rub everybody the wrong way, this is time for self-reflection. And this is time for you to say, okay, what's wrong? What could I change about my thoughts? What could I change about my actions? And I think you should do that anyways. Always be self-reflective and think, okay, if somebody has a negative reaction to you, ask yourself, okay, could I have done something better here? Could I have done something different here? And if the answer is no, then let it go. And not in a mean way. Not in the kind of way that says, I don't care what happens to them. I don't care if they like me or not. I don't care about them. But in a way that's just okay with you being you. So number one, whenever you have thoughts that people don't like you, ask yourself, how do you really know this? Because our negative thoughts will produce negative chemicals. Positive thoughts will produce positive chemicals in our brains. And we want us to have a healthy, sharp brain. Number two, if they really don't like you, you've talked to them and it's a verified fact, it's okay. Some people, not everybody's going to like everybody, and it says nothing about you. Oftentimes, just like it says nothing about the movie, if not everybody likes the movie. And finally, if there's literally no one in the world that you can get along with, and there's literally nobody who enjoys being around you, then at that point, do a little bit of self-evaluation. But I hardly know anybody like that. I hardly know anyone like that. So it's probably not you, especially if you've made it to this point in the video. You are someone who really is a deep thinker and introspective. If you're still listening, I doubt that's you. But always ask yourself these questions. How do I know it's true? Could anything else be on their mind? What else could be the possibilities? And this really helps you to prevent mind reading and catastrophizing and all this other stuff that is negative thoughts. Why is this so important to me? Because I'm a memory champion. I like to train my brain. And if I can have a healthy, relaxed brain, I can remember more. I can learn faster. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Comment below if does it bother you sometimes when people don't like you? You know what? I'm not perfect at it either. It bothers me sometimes too. If you would like to learn my memory course, how to remember anything and improve your memory, I have a course called Black Belt Memory, and I'll put a description to that in the link, and I'll even have a free gift for you on how to improve your memory. But I hope you subscribe, because we always got videos like this, and if you don't subscribe, how are we ever going to talk again? That would be sad. I'll see you in the next video.